the audacity of the prosecution to just put that on the record when it's stating it's untrue.
That's a weird way to point. Darrell, your hands are not cuffed. I don't know why you're holding your hands like this. Like, Darrell's like, the audacity of them, like, why are they doing this to me? You just gonna let this happen? It's like, Darrell, your hands are not cuffed. What are you doing? You're like, up there, what is that, a spider web? What time's lunch?
Then you need to provide me with the legal basis for that, sir.
So I'm supposed to just come off that with off the top of my head?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come up with it off the top of your head like your hair did. It just came right off the top of your head. Where it went, we don't know. But it definitely left.
Because you asked.
Mr. Brooks, please.
Because you asked.
Because you asked. Because you had an axe, I'm gonna shut the hell up, okay? I don't want you to hack me in my shoulder and then my shoulder fall to the side. I don't want that. So because you asked politely, I'm gonna shut the hell up. That's what you mean, Darrell?
That's the only reason, because you asked.
That's because you asked.
I see what you people are trying to do. It's not right. It's not fair and it's not right.
It ain't right and it ain't fair. It's neither of those things.
You can have a seat. Well, once the jury's outside of the courtroom, I'll take up the objections previously in the evidence. All right. First of all, Attorney Hopper, if you can make a record as to this exhibit and whether it's been turned over previously.
It was previously included in the initial discovery that was sent initially to the public defender's office, and now we have a record that those 3 boxes were turned over to Mr. Brooks.
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name, and it was not in the video footage that I have obtained. That video was not part of it. Do you think I would sit here and be this irritated
Mr.
about
Brooks, I need
something
to
that I
make a
saw?
record. So just please sit down. There's no need for you to stand at the moment.
I feel like standing right now.
I feel like
Please sit
standing.
down.
I feel like standing.
He's so rebellious. Sit down. I feel like standing though. Sit down. I demand it. No, I think I'm going to just stay. I'm just going to stand here. Okay. Because you said that, it's the opposite day. Yeah. It's opposite day again. I think, what's today? Yeah, opposite day. Sit your ass down for your kinkle
Right, based upon the offer of proof provided by the state, and it was provided to prior counsel, that satisfies me as to that issue. I indicated I would.
It's inaccurate.
Can we have the prior counsel testify to that then? Because
Not at this time, sir.
I have not obtained that. Right now, that was my first time seeing that as an exhibit.
Mr. Brooks, I presume, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you're familiar with that video. Yes or no?
What does that have to do with what we're talking
Because
about?
I'm going to make a finding based upon what I viewed in that video, that there's absolutely no surprise to you. It appears to me, even without the video, that that's a music video, that you are in it, that the vehicle that has been the subject of this entire case, that red Ford Escape with the plate that's been testified to is in that video. That video is relevant for a number of different reasons. The first of which, it goes to identification of you, identification of the vehicle. You opened up the door through your cross-exam of Detective Casey about his ability to identify you in that video. And when I say identification of you, specifically as it relates to Detective Casey's opinion that that's you in the video, of course, it's ultimately up to the jury to determine that and what relevance, if any, that evidence has.
Your Honor, that was damn sure Darrell. I can let me just go ahead and tell you that now. That was definitely Darrell, for sure. That was definitely Darrell standing in front of that car in that music video. Yes, it was. But that one guy who he had no friends, so he grabbed that one guy and was like, "Please, just stand here and just like wave your arms." I bet it wasn't even no music playing while he was like, doing his little stuff in his head, and he turned his back, like, "That's right." And what he say? I just bought a load for a half a ticket. As he pointed at his mother's Ford Escape that was terrible at his job. Jesus, that thing did everything except for fucking escape. That thing was lying, honey. You need to sue that company. You need to sue Ford. Darrell, there's an idea for you. You need to sue the Ford company, okay? For false advertising, all right? Because that car damn sure did not fucking escape, okay? Tell you what it didn't do. I know what it did do. Y'all know what it did do, but let me tell you what it didn't do. It fucking escapes what it didn't do. Okay? I think it's terrible. It's a worthless piece of junk. Well, now it is. Well, it already was after Daryl slept in it. 2 days after Daryl started sleeping in it, it became junk.
Yeah, but you opened up the door for the state to show that video.
Yep.
Because you directly attacked the credibility of Detective Casey through his knowledge of it and the identification by him of you in it because the still image was of your back.
Okay.
So that opened up the door and it's proper. There's absolutely no surprise to you that that video exists.
Remember, Daryl, you was like, how you know that's me? That was a good setup they did too. They knew he was going to say that shit. Like, they picked the one piece of the scene where it shows him with his back turned. And they show that picture. Of course, Daryl's going to be like, how you even know that's me? The back is turned. And then because he said that, they were like, okay, well, that makes it so that now we can pull up the whole video. And now Daryl be mad.
And that is my finding as it relates to that.
What do you mean by it's no surprise to me that exists? That was not the issue. The issue was how was it made an exhibit at the last moment?
Because
how was it made an exhibit out of the blue?
It wasn't out of the blue, dumbass, and you just heard her tell you why it is. And you gonna act like you ain't hear it so she can repeat herself so you could stall this here trial for 1,000 years and call time served.
That was the issue. The issue
State can make an offer of proof on that because obviously they marked it as an exhibit.
But with all respect, Your Honor, you're mischaracterizing what I said, and the record needs to be clear. The issue that I raised was how did this at the last minute out of the blue become an exhibit? That was the issue.
Go ahead and make your offer of proof on that.
Thank you, Judge. And another thing worth noting is the testimony of Detective Casey that this video was obtained from the defendant's own Facebook account as well. The court is well aware.
He said social media.
Nothing that.
He didn't say what it was.
Sir, stop interrupting. We have to make a record of it. You've interrupted multiple times. I've been abundantly patient with you. Again, another.
Daryl is being sassy, y'all. Daryl is the sassiest. Daryl said, I'm a diva. I'm a diva. Is you a diva, Daryl? I mean, if you say you're a diva, I am inclined to believe you, honey. Just say it. I just want to hear you say it. Is you a diva or no?
Interruption. So you need to be quiet and let the state make a record. Stop gesturing
at
me. Stop rolling your eyes at me. Stop mumbling.
I'm looking right at you. I'm not rolling my eyes.
No, you have throughout. I've seen it and I've made note of it.
I'm looking at you. Okay, so are you asking me to be quiet or are you telling me to be quiet?
Say tell him.
Go ahead, Attorney Opper.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm gonna take that as
just
asking.
To indicate, Your Honor, this court has been abundantly patient with Mr. Brooks. He challenges the court's authority repeatedly.
All the time.
This court absolutely has the ability to tell him to sit down and be quiet. And you haven't done that. And I know why you haven't done that, Your Honor.
Because asshole.
And we appreciate that. He is.
Is it because he asshole? Because that's what I thought it was. I need the record clear. I need for you to clear that record, Mario. They better clear that record for Daryl or else. Or else what? Oh, I don't know.
Not in control of this courtroom. You are. And he needs to respect that. This video was relevant based on his questioning of Detective Casey, as you just indicated, challenging his ability to identify the person who had their back turned to the camera in the still shot of State's Exhibit 175. Trials are fluid. When he opened the door to that, we came up with the video which Detective Casey testified repeatedly on direct examination and cross-examination as to how he knew that was Mr. Brooks because he had seen the rest of the video. He would not accept that. He pushed it and pushed it and pushed it until we played the video.
Exactly.
The lyrics of that video probably would have been prejudicial. Originally, I wasn't going to ask for volume. Then I did because he pushed it again, and his voice and his mannerism of speech, I thought would have assisted the jury in identifying Mr. Brooks as the person in the video with the red SUV.
Yeah, especially when he makes those little snarly faces. When Daryl makes his little snarly faces, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, yep, that's him. That's him. I mean, it's hard to tell because of the hairline. He got his hair weave. down on his face trying to cover up the bat wings, He got his little dreads trying to cover it up, but yeah, that snarly face, yes, that's definitely him. They would have known it.
However, you smartly asked me to play it without the audio, and I did that, and then I never went back to that. This is all to the benefit of this defendant who continues to suggest and impugn the integrity of this court and this prosecution without basis. He doesn't like it because the evidence is stacking up and stacking up. And whenever it does, his response is to accuse you, the court, or the prosecutors of being unethical and hiding things. There is nothing in law that prevents me from pulling something out of my briefcase right now and making it an exhibit if it's relevant.
Exactly.
You decide what's relevant, what's admissible, not Mr. Brooks. There is no law, he can cite to no law, no authority whatsoever that says I can't make an exhibit essentially on the fly if it's called for, and that's exactly what just happened here. So I apologize for my tone with the court. I don't mean to direct this at the court.
Yeah, he used that later on, and he ended up using that later. I mean, it didn't matter, of course, because nothing can save Darrell. Duh. But he tried to use it. She said she could just make up an exhibit off the fly. Can I do that? Can I do that too? She said that she could. You did say that, Hopper. That did happen.
It is very frustrating. The court has demonstrated much more patience than I have with Mr. Brooks because, again, I do not appreciate his impugning the integrity of these proceedings, of Your Honor's efforts to run a fair trial, and of our efforts to run a fair trial. We have ethical obligations as well to be fair.
That's right.
In this courtroom. We have respected that entirely.
Yes, you did.
The reason I was laughing 30 seconds ago was because the exhibit was mislabeled. There was an extra Y and it said Exhibit E, EXHIBITY. And I turned around to the paralegal and pointed that out, and we laughed over it, the word exhibity.
Yeah, because she's free. Darrell, she's free. Opera is free. And so laughter happens to free people. I know you can't relate, Darrell. I understand. You cannot relate to that. But, free people laugh. It's just a thing. It just happens. Try explaining that to a Darrell. It's impossible. It's impossible. Impossible.
That was it. There has been no disrespect directed at Mr. Brooks directly in any fashion. So he can object all he wants, and he has made that clear. He will continue to object and obstruct the court and obstruct these proceedings every last chance he gets. But legally, everything has been above board and proper, and this exhibit is no exception. I apologize for my tone, Judge.
Thank you. I appreciate that additional record being made.
I object to that.
My previous ruling doesn't change in any way that the exhibit is relevant. I indicated I would take it up because, and I'm taking what the state's saying as withdrawing the request to play the lyrics.
That is correct.
All right. I have not heard them, but I'll certainly take the state at its word as an officer of the court that it would be prejudicial based upon the lyrics that are in that video, but my decision to admit the video without audio stands. I do want to take up two other issues. There was an objection to questions regarding cross-examination. So the objections were by the state. One had to do with there was questioning about possible testimony with his niece and nephew, and then the jail cell search issues. So Mr. Brooks, you asked the questions. The state had objected. Since you're the proponent of what would presumably come in through the testimony of Detective Casey, what is your offer of proof as to why I should allow Detective Casey to come back on the stand and testify about his interaction, I believe it was with your mom, and possible testimony of your niece and nephew?
it don't matter with Detective Casey. He's off the stand. He's not going back on the stand.
No, but I told you I would recall him. I wanted to take it up outside the presence of the jury.
How do I supposed to know?
So are you withdrawing that, sir?
How am I supposed to know? I think I deserve a chance to rebut what was just said.
You gonna rebut
I
it?
deserve that much if it's a fair trial.
What information do you want to provide to me about that last exhibit?
Yeah.
About what last exhibit? I'm talking about the audacity of the prosecution to just put that on the record when it's stating it's untrue.
That's a weird way to point. Darrell, your hands are not cuffed. I don't know why you're holding your hands like this. Like, Darrell's like, he's like, it's the audacity of them. Like, why are they doing this to me? You just gonna let this happen? It's like, Darrell, your hands are not cuffed. What are you doing? Like, why are you acting like you can't separate your hands right now? You're like up there. What is that? A spider web? What is this? What time's lunch? You know? I wonder when they go to their lunch break. I never thought of this. I wonder when they go to their lunch, when they take like lunch break or whatever, when they take a break for lunch during these court days. Like, where does Darrell eat and what does he eat? Do they just bring him like the same stuff that he would normally get in jail? Or does he get like a special sandwich, you know? I never thought of that, but now I'm curious to know, like, where do they make him sit? Like, is there like I'm sure he's shackled to whatever table it is, but what kind of table is it, you know? Darrell, what kind of table do they shackle you to and what do they feed you at lunchtime? These are the questions I have. Please answer. Thank you.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's untrue?
We just heard her talk for 5-10 minutes straight.
Oh my gosh. Just say the thing.
Now don't nobody know what I'm talking about.
Nobody ever knew, Darrell.
There was a reference made to
what you're talking about,
what I'm supposed to know about the evidence stacking up and this and that, as if that has any bearing on what I still think and what I'm still going to present. It doesn't.
Well, that's not what we're talking about at the moment. I made a rule.
But Judge, let me interpret this for you. Let me translate, if you will. Darrell had his feelings hurt, okay? Darrell's feelings are officially hurt, okay? It's going to take, somebody's going to need to apologize to Darrell and let him know that his feelings are valid and that people don't have the right to disinfect him like that. Nah, he ain't getting no bologna sandwich. He ain't getting no bologna sandwich, Mario. No, he gets a prison sausage, honey. That's it. Prison sausage. That is Darrell's, that's what's on the menu for Darrell. That prison sausage, okay? Prison sausage.
She's been laughing and making comments under her breath the whole time during the whole trial, and I never said nothing. I don't know what's being said, but I can tell that it's directed towards me. I'm not a
How you know it's about you, Darrell? Oh, because this is your trial? Oh, that's right.
idiot.
I haven't made any of those observations,
I didn't
sir.
say
What
you.
I've observed,
I didn't say you, Your Honor.
No. What I've observed
listen, please.
Go ahead.
Who are you talking to?
For her to sit there and try to play it off as if she's not referencing to me, she must think I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that part.
That is very disrespectful to me. I haven't said anything about that.
Look at What are you cupping? What you got, like saggy boobs or something? Like what are you holding like this? Like, it's like a weird little gesture you're doing with your hands here, Darrell. What is going on with you? It's like he thinks that there's like his hands are shackled around his waist, which does happen. You know, once they find him guilty, they put those shackles around that belt around his waist, and then the shackles are attached to it, so his hands are stuck there at his waist. He's acting like they're on right now. Are you having a premonition, Darrell? Darrell's having a psychic moment, y'all. He's like, I see myself with my hands stuck to my waistline. I see that. I don't know what it means. All this I sense in my psychic mind, you know. That's the moment Darrell's having, y'all.
That until today. She's done it numerous times.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're
laughing under her breath. Her trying to cover up the microphone so they can laugh and he and key. That they've been doing that the whole time.
The whole time?
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about it.
I have not noticed that. What I noticed are three attorneys who cover up the microphone so that they're not heard when they're conferring with each other about evidentiary issues or about testimony.
Exactly.
So why is it always laughing and giggling?
It's because of your hairline, Daryl. I'm sorry. I didn't want to be the one to break it to you. But yeah, it's that. And it's because of how little you are. It's your little and your hairline and that tie, okay? It's your hand size them being so fucking small, and it's your ears. It's that mask, okay? That thing's been screaming for help this whole time. They're trying to ignore it, you know what I'm saying, out of respect for you. But it's hard. You know, it's hard out here for a Daryl mask, okay? Ain't nobody trying to live that life, Daryl. What you doing to that mask ain't right, okay? It's unconstitutional. You need to stop. You need to take it off, give it a proper burial, because it's damn sure dead, okay?
I haven't noticed that other than the one thing you pointed out.
Well, we have cameras.
Oh, you got cameras
are for.
Let's refocus our attention on what we're here for, and that's
this trial. Then I take that.
Do you have anything you want to put on the record?
I'm putting it on the record if I get a chance.
No, you need to let me finish. As it relates to the video and my decision to admit it.
She just admitted that she just now came with the exhibit. It was not. She just said she just made it an exhibit. It was not an exhibit before she made it one.
So do you have some legal basis, sir, for your position?
What do I need legal basis for when she just admitted on the record that she just made this exhibit up right now?
Didn't. That is a complete mischaracterization. Sure, she did not.
That's what. So she wasn't implying that by saying that she could pull anything out of her suitcase.
Nope.
So that's a figure of speech.
Okay, so what is it implying to? What would that be implying
Artemisia.
to? How would anyone? How would anyone in my position?
Daryl, you gonna quit yelling? I know that much. Daryl, okay, what are you cupping and holding now? Like this, Daryl, you and your hand gestures are just weird today. He must be constant, not constant. He must have like bubble guts or something, because he's like super cranky, you know. Like he's like, can y'all just send me somewhere, preferably a bathroom? Thank you. You got the bubble guts, Daryl?
Not providing me with any legal basis.
I didn't even finish. You told me that I can make the record. I'm attempting to make the record.
Sir, as it relates to the
stop with them hand
my
gestures.
Decision to admit it.
I just said that you didn't even let me finish.
You're not letting me finish.
You didn't let me finish either, Your Honor.
Because you're not providing me.
But how do you know I wouldn't get to that if I didn't finish?
You're not providing me with anything from a legal basis for which I would consider changing my mind. So the state's withdrawn.
Hit the like button for Mama, please, 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 and thank you. Yes.
On their request to play the audio.
Then why play the video at all then?
I've already made a ruling on that. You're questioning the ruling. You're not asking me to reconsider it based on any legal basis.
There should be a legal reconsideration of it.
Then you need to provide me with the legal basis for that, sir.
So I'm supposed to just come off that with off the top of my head?
Yes.
That's
just
ridiculous.
You're representing.
You come up with it off the top of your head like your hair did. You know, it just came right the fuck off the top of your fucking head. Where it went, we don't know, but it definitely left.